Vézère River winds its way for 200 kilometres through the Corrèze and Dordogne regions. Its banks are packed with nature and history. At the foot of the Losse castle, we meet Philippe Colomy, a local canoe guide.
We're right under the castle here. It was built on top of this rocky outcrop, so the maximum amount of land could be used for farming. We needed as much farmland as possible at the time. The river was used to transport all different kinds of goods. And here, you could bring down all the goods and load them onto the boats.
There, we have a nice view of the garden and the river.
The 16th century castle is now looked after by Jacqueline van der Scheren.
They thought of everything. It's a real pleasure palace. Look at the view. It's amazing. It's also meant to be a defence on the river. There used to be 6 towers. Some have now disappeared, but all around it used to be entirely defensive.
Jacqueline is just as interested in topiary as she is in turrets.
All this is filled with dépétats, and these are all rose bushes.
Her gardens hang over the calm waters of the river.
Spring is the best season for me. All the greens are different. Some of them are soft greens, but the surrounding area remains wild. The trees keep growing no matter what, and that's what makes the whole scene beautiful.
Back on the water, Jacqueline isn't the only one enjoying the springtime.
It's the nesting period. All the birds are chirping from all directions. That's really rare.
Do you like it?
I love it. You close your eyes and you don't know where you are.
Man has learnt to blend in with the natural architecture of this valley, like in this village nestled on the riverbank. It was inhabited from the 10th to the 18th centuries. Residents living along the Vézère have all but abandoned this troglodytic lifestyle, except for a handful of diehards like Pierre Logoterie.
This is the rock, the cliff face. These houses don't need any foundations. If you dig a little outside, there's just 50 centimeters of soil before you hit the rock. The rock starts from the top, goes down like this, forms a terrace, and another cliff, and so on.
Early man first started living inside these rock faces some 400,000 years ago. The huge number of prehistoric sites discovered in this area gave the valley its nickname, the Land of Man.
So here we are in a rock shelter that was occupied a few thousand years ago by prehistoric men.
Hundreds of shelters just like this one are dotted through the Périgord region. The daily life of early man centred around these habitations.
When they first came to the Vézère Valley, they lived in the entrance of these shelters. It allowed them to make a fire. They had the light of day so that they could work, prepare food and make tools, especially out of flint.
Like the Neanderthals before him, Nicolas Audebert is a stonemason specialising in flint. He can carve out a tool in less than 10 minutes, using ancient skills he's keen to preserve.
It's sort of a Swiss Army knife. With the 2 sides you can saw, grade, cut or drill.
The tool is typical of early man.
This is a great 2-sided tool of the Neanderthals. Often we think of Neanderthals or prehistoric men as being big, strong brutes, but in early prehistoric society there were crafts like this one which required knowledge of the raw materials and delicate, precise movements to master them.
147 sites and 25 caves in the Vézère Valley are all classified by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. Discovered in 1908, the Cap Blanc frieze illustrates prehistoric animals along 13 metres of this cave. Its creation marked the advent of parietal art.
What's really exceptional in this frieze is the technique used. Conventional techniques like painting can be found in other prehistoric caves in France, like at Lescaut. But this type of very strong, very monumental sculpture only occurred at one particular moment and in one particular place.
Cherished and preserved by locals across this region, the treasures of the Vézère Valley continue to attract those keen to understand the origins of France and of modern man.